And I mean, you guys asked for it, so obviously I have to deliver. This one's all about how to promote your video. As an independent artist, one thing we've all faced, hoping after we've made our songs and made our music video, that the project goes to the moon. But it doesn't always go that way. So we've put together this video all about how to promote your music videos effectively. So I'm gonna take you through 5 proven tips on what you can do to get those video views steadily climbing and potentially even go viral. Quick tip before we actually get into it, Ditto Music can distribute your videos directly to Vevo so you can earn even more royalties whenever people watch your content. We can set you up with a Vevo channel and even upload your content so your music videos can be promoted and placed in a better position to start receiving more views and engagement. And you can learn more about that in the description below. Cool, so let's get back into it. Welcome one and all, my name is Ditto, and for this video we'll be talking all about how you can promote your music video, and we'll be going through the following. Using social media platforms to promote your visuals, interacting on similar videos, publications, blogs and influencers, finding your audience, YouTube ads and keywords. Listen, be on the lookout for all the gems that we're gonna drop and stay right to the end to get the best ones. But just like usual, make sure you check out the chapters, the timestamps and the markers down below so you can find the information you need a lot quicker. But if not, you know exactly what to do. Sit back, take note and relax. Alright then, so before we start, I'm gonna need you to subscribe to the Ditto Music YouTube channel. I'm gonna need you to hit like and definitely hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Get down in the comments, be in the comments, join the Ditto community, and drop any knowledge there that you might know or anything you find interesting, any chit chat. If you wanna be a part of the community, get involved. So first things first, it might seem hella obvious, but you've got to make the most of social media. Sure, it's fine to post 1 or 2 videos and get a bit of love, but a lot of us are just not utilizing social media to its full potential. One underrated medium is Facebook groups. There's loads of community value, an opportunity to interact on interesting topics and interests. So one thing you can do to start you off is to go onto Facebook, search the Facebook groups, search keywords that fit your content, look out for the most relevant groups, and when you're in those groups, it's so important not to spam. Instead, you want to add value to the group. Look at the group's existing content and see how you can mirror that energy or interact in the same means or provide the same kind of value as that piece of content that you're looking at. You're looking for content with the best engagement and seeing if you can match that in the same way. Then post your video and encourage people to check it out. That's just send way more traffic to your YouTube. You also want to make sure that you upload an eye-catching thumbnail to anything that you upload on your YouTube. This will simply grab people's attention anytime you post. So it's very important to really think about the comment or the caption that you also post it with. Make sure it's relevant or funny or inspiring, anything to get you more clicks. So the main purpose here in regards to Facebook groups is to interact generally with all the topics and themes. And whilst doing this, you should be posting your links where necessary and relevant. You can utilize this method on many other platforms. For example, with Twitter, utilizing the threads and hashtags, on Reddit, on Discord, on Telegram, on Signal, and even WhatsApp groups. And another new one that you could have a play with is utilizing the same kind of energy, the same method on Clubhouse. But obviously that's all voice, so that'll be joining the right conversations and groups in a space of topics and what people are actually engaging on. Similar to getting involved with social media and threads, it's so important that you understand how YouTube engagement actually works. People read and post comments a lot. Potentially some people are in the comments more than they are actually watching the content itself. So actively interacting with similar videos is an amazing way to actually get spotted and noticed, and people potentially may start clicking your name if you've got a really good comment, and they might check your channel out, check your content and see what you're all about. So doing the basics like commenting and liking other similar artists on YouTube is so key in the YouTube community. Posting really creative, insightful, inspiring comments could potentially result in that comment you've posted being liked by thousands of people. And if your comment blows up, it'll stay pinned to the top of the YouTube. So like I said, that'll result in more people seeing and potentially clicking your name, which will then lead to people on your channel and more people watching videos and more views for you. But don't sleep on your own. Get back into your older videos, check out the comments and reply, like, press heart, and just get involved. Make a conversation happen in there. Even if it's an old conversation, keep that going because it'll bring people back to that video, and people might say, you know what, let me check out the rest of your stuff and see what that's about. Another sure way to help your videos get an influx of views is getting publications, blogs, and influencers to share your content. Finding the right media platforms to break down and or review your content could absolutely make your video content views fly and also help your engagement and following on socials. It can really help your credibility as an artist or a brand. But the question really is, do you know how to find the right outlets to make this happen? So first and foremost, the best thing to do is to search any kind of publication you're aware of and search their websites for any contact information so you can kind of get the conversation started. Some blogs will directly let you know how to submit music for a review, and the ones that don't, most likely you can just directly ask them for an email and see what happens from there. So this is the important part. Write a polite but compelling email, something different, something interesting on how you could feature or potentially be on their site or maybe even collaborate with them in some way, shape or form. Another good way to find the right publication is to search similar artists that sound like you, that do similar music or are in the same genre. So you're going to want to find someone who's obviously more established, maybe known a little bit more, who has a little bit more credibility in the same space. And then you want to search for where their videos are posted on what publications and blogs. And you want to do the same method that you do for yourself, which is to contact them in regards for a feature or some kind of collaborative effort. So the next thing you can do is search for YouTube accounts that do reaction videos or TikTok creators that review or create compelling videos utilizing people's video content or music content. So this is obviously more of a modern way to connect the dots and ensure traffic and traction on your content itself, but it's a proven method. So if you've got the time and you're willing to do the research and connect yourself with the right people that will potentially like your music regardless, it might be free or little to no money that you're spending on getting your music in the right hands and potentially going viral off that. Influencers in this area are really the modern tastemakers, so where possible, connect with micro influencers or major influencers. Okay, so we've kind of touched on this area already, but I want to be a little bit more specific. It's so important that you target, promote, and share to the right audience. This is so important. Listen, sometimes as a creative, we can all believe that everyone should love and want to listen to our music. I get it, trust me. But just because we think it's amazing and it's great, not necessarily everyone else in the world is going to think it's that as well. It's so important to share, find and understand your niche, your target audience, your genre. And as much as your friends and family may love and respect your music, they're not necessarily always your target audience. So really think about where your genre of music is played the most, listened to the most, and appreciated the most, whether it's online or in the real world. When it comes to online, target social spaces, groups, trends, communities, and even the challenges. Really do your research on where your music will be a good fit. So once you've identified these audiences, it makes it so much more easier to plan and promote a campaign so you can get your music to the right people in the right way. And ultimately, you'll just be growing your fan base a lot more effectively. And with that said, do not forget to use the smaller social media features within the platforms. We've got loads of videos about hashtags going live, TikTok, stories, IGTV, Reels, and so much more to kind of help you build your social media following and really understand those features. I mean, a lot of these features are transferable. So if you're good on one platform, figure out how you can transfer that method, that technique to another. For example, stories is similar to Snapchat and Reels is similar to TikTok. So you can utilize those methods that you already know and transfer them over. Last but definitely not least, and this is a big one, you should start promoting your videos utilizing YouTube ads. YouTube and Google ads revolve a lot around keywords, and I'll get into that in a sec. What you need to decide first is what's your budget? What are you willing to spend to get a potential amount of views? Setting a budget can be very tricky, especially for up-and-coming artists with not all the cash in the world. So it's always best to start small, test the waters, and kind of see what results you may get. Because you don't really want to be spending hundreds or thousands on ads and it's just going the wrong place and you're not getting the results that you need. So in this section, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on a basic ad strategy. I'll explain how to promote your videos utilizing YouTube advertising. YouTube ads guarantee to put your videos in front of people with similar interests. So it's well worth trying even if you start with a really small budget. There are many videos online about running an ad campaign, but I wanted to give you a few steps first to ensure you've done the initial steps before you start spending any cash. So here's a step-by-step guide and let's get into it. All right, so first things first, you need a Google account, YouTube account, or a Gmail account, some kind of Google services account to start the process. You need to ensure at some point that you've attached a payment method or some kind of billing method. Then you'll need to head to ads.google.com. So let's say we've signed in now. Let me make sure I'm all the way in. And then you're gonna click new campaign in the top corner. So what you're gonna do, you wanna click create a campaign without goal guidance. So for this campaign type, you wanna click video, reach and engage viewers on YouTube and across the web. If you scroll down, once you've done that, it'll now say custom video campaign. That's the one you're gonna actually wanna stay on when we're talking about the campaign subtypes. And here's now where it gets a little bit more specific in what you're doing and how you're trying to maneuver, okay? Rename your campaign, just keep it simple. Just say if your music video is called, I don't know, Love and Music, okay? Next is bid strategy, okay? So bid strategy, so we'll keep it on maximum CPV. We've clicked that one, we're going down. Now we're thinking about campaign total. So what are you looking to spend? What's your total budget? And the other side of it is, or do you want to do it on a daily spend? Do you want to spend £5 a day, £10 a day, £20 a day? You might say, you know, I've only got £200 to spend. In that sense, you kind of put the start date and end date. But where the start date and end date matters most is when you're doing daily. Because if you're doing daily, it needs to know when is it going to stop taking out the £20 a day. You know what I mean? You don't want it to go on for 20 years. You want it to go on from maybe a month or 2 months, 6 weeks, whatever it might be. Whatever you can afford, keyword. I mean, you can go as little as £5 if that's where your budget is, and that's fine also. You'll still get something from that. It could be a long-winded campaign. So let's say we chose £10 a day, 22nd of Feb, and then we're gonna go to, let's see, let's just keep it a week, just for 1 week. That's all we're doing, a week, to the 1st of March, okay? So then we go down, and we've got networks. Again, this is all your choice on what you want to do, but I would recommend to just leave it so it goes to the furthest reach it can, if that makes sense. Next is locations. So if you've got any information from your Spotify for artists or your Apple Music for artists kind of insights, and it says you're getting loads of love in France and loads of love in Germany, then you're probably gonna click maybe let's enter another location and start adding different locations. Or do you want it to just be everywhere, all countries and territories, so everywhere? But again, that's a bit broad. So you'll get the views, but will you really get the effective engagement? You know what I mean? Home in on where the love is, or where the love for your music or your genre is. So I'll leave mine as UK for now. Choose your language, and also if your music or your music video caters for different languages, it may be Spanish and English, it may be French and Spanish, wherever it works. Utilize this opportunity here to really cater for the audience that you're looking for. So now we get a little bit more deeper into it. It recommends standard imagery. So if you put limited, then it would be like minimal profanity, minimal sexuality, or suggestive contents in that kind of space. If you go for standard, it's kind of like, it depends. It's like in the mid-range. Expanded means it'll go on anything. And that's the best way kind of to work, I feel, to kind of go with standard. It's recommended. And so now we're creating an ad group. So I would just keep things the same. What did I put? Was it? Yeah, Love and Music. Put Love and Music ad group, because you might utilize this ad campaign in other videos. So you're just kind of making it specific at this one's called ad group 1, yeah? This is really important, the most important part, in fact. It says people who you want to reach, define your audiences and demographic, or both. So you're gonna click demographics, and this is where you get really deep into it. So again, I know that predominantly more males listen to my stuff. So for example, I would do that. Or I don't really want to exclude the females, or do I? That's the choice here. When it comes to unknown, that's people that have not necessarily stated on their accounts whether they're male or female. So I would leave that on, because you might be missing out a good group of people in that space. And if you know, for example, I know my key core audience is 18 to 44. I know it's a bit wide, but I know that 45-year-olds onwards are not listening to my music. So I would maybe just get rid of those. I might leave unknown on. So again, leave that open. Again, you want to get it to more people. Audiences specifically, this is where it gets really cool. So one thing you can do, so again, I make like rap music and grime and stuff. So I'm definitely gonna click rap and hip hop fans, music lovers, maybe media and entertainment, but that's kind of going a little bit further away. But again, it depends what I'm making, what am I promoting. So if I'm just promoting music to be consumed, then I might just leave it as rap and hip hop fans, music lovers. But if you pay attention, over on the right side of the screen, it says 1.8 billion impressions that this potentially could get to, but that's before we get deeper into, you know, everything else that we're kind of putting into there. But that's just where we are right now. Again, keywords, so important. So things that relate. So who does my music sound like? These me just saying random people that I rate as musicians, for example, yeah? You can even include a website. So I could say, okay, where do all these artists usually put their music? Maybe grimedaily.com. Then I'll press enter, and it'll give me a list of keywords that link with that website. So I want to say Grime Daily, GRM Daily, lyrics for songs. I could go crazy with this, but you'll see this slowly getting smaller, which isn't a bad thing. At the right side, it's getting more specific to who. So it went back up to 190. Maybe I made it a bit too broad, so I take that last one off. Now it's 120. I take the last two off. Because the smaller the number, sometimes not the worst, because it's getting more specific. It's finding an audience. So again, we're moving forward. We're trying to pinpoint our audience. So what topics would they like? Did they like arts and entertainment? Yeah. Did they like vehicles? No. And then, again, I'm kind of basing it off music I might make, just to make it simple. Another cool place now. This is really, really cool. So you can actually almost find where specifically on what videos you would want to see your video pop up, and it comes up with the video itself. If I press YouTube videos, if I click that, it adds it to the list, so I can just start going crazy now. If I choose a Skepta video, but I can just type it here and it'll give me options to say, like, here's all the different videos that link to that. Oh yeah, Shutdown, that could work. Bullet for Gun, that could work. Wiz. And then now this might be getting smaller over on the right, because it's finding, oh, that's your audience. That's who you want it to be keyed at. Okay, so what are you willing to pay? What's the highest you're willing to pay per view? So you're doing £5 a day, for example, or £10 a day, but per view of what, you know, the bid goes for, what you're bidding for. And I mean, you can keep it as simple as literally 0.0, so 1 pence. This next section says here, create your video ad, your YouTube video, pop it in there. So now it's asking video ad format. Do you want it to be the type of ads that's a skippable stream? So maybe I want that, yeah, cool. Do I want a video discovery ad, which is basically using a little way, where it's underneath the video and you see it's like a little suggestible or recommended video. I would prefer you guys to see it while you're watching before you watch what you'll actually have come to watch on YouTube. So that way you can decide in that moment if you want to keep watching it or not. Again, it says final URL. You're gonna definitely put that there again, and also on display. So if you had a video that had profanity and you couldn't necessarily utilize it, then what you could actually do is create an advert, and you could have the YouTube video that you first put in here as the advert, and then it could direct you to these links here. So you could actually create a small advert that takes you to the actual video, but you're trying to get views, you're trying to get engagement, you're trying to show the product immediately. So I would always say put the video that you're actually promoting in all three, so it's good to go. And if you want, you can have a call to action. You can rename it like #1 Grime. I mean, that might bring some people in. It might make people think, yeah, this is the way. Create a headline, okay. Could just be as simple as new viral track or something. Be more creative than that. Worst case scenario, if you don't like the image you see here or the thumbnail you already have on your video, you can upload a new one just for the advert. So it shows you the dimensions and the maximum file size. And again, you can name this specific ad whatever you want it to be. Love and music ad. And I put roses because that's the video itself. And it's as simple as that. You're good to go. You press create campaign and then you're good to go. And if you want, kind of have a little look over here. So it gives you a little understanding. It says, you know what, it might be better for you if you brought your maximum CPV bid up to 16 pence. So I'm gonna press apply and see if it makes any difference. Now it's saying, so for a week, which won't be that much money, it's like £35 I'll be spending. I'll probably get 5,000 views, which isn't terrible, not at all. The impressions will be anywhere from 6 to 30,000, and the average spend or the average CPV will be anywhere from 1 to 5 pence. The budget spend, it's saying it will probably use about 95% to 100%. So it's giving you an understanding of what you could do in that space, and you can keep tweaking everything to kind of make sense of it. So then you're actually waiting for it to be accepted, and you'll get an email within 24 to 48 hours letting you know whether it has or not. And while it's getting accepted, it's actually good to see and watch the views as they start moving, to see if it's doing what it needs to do, to see if you want to adjust any of the budget or kind of the options that you've kind of put in a sense of where it is focusing your audience and where it's trying to find your audience. And always come back to ads.google.com to kind of check the metrics and see if everything's working as you want it to. And you may even want to extend this promotion, this campaign, and kind of further your views, interactions, and impressions. The key part here is focusing on, you know what? Get back to the other vital. The key part here is focusing on the options that you have to define your key audience. The better you're targeting, the better it will be for your campaign results, your engagement, and your view count. It's also important to understand that there are various ways to set up YouTube ads, so it's so important that you do it the right way and also understand what you're doing before you start spending loads of money. Because there's YouTube ads, there's Google ads, and there's different ways and measures to kind of get involved in it, and the screens may start looking different. So if you know one way, work with one way. Please research, read around, and keep learning and watching videos to understand, because you're gonna learn a lot more as you go. And to quickly round up, there are simple and easy ways to promote your video that work absolutely fine. But it's so important to understand the trends and the latest workings of social media and music video promotion to ensure that your content goes directly to the right person so they can consume it in the right way. That's how to get real results from a video marketing strategy. So research, trial and error, experiment, and use those results to better your next attempt every time. So yes, people, I really hope this video helped you understand a little bit more about music video promotion and ads and different things that you can do to help better your engagement, your view count, and so forth. And just to recap, we touched on using social media platforms effectively, interacting on similar videos, publication blogs and influencers, finding the right audience, YouTube ads and keywords. So from me, Vevo, and the Ditto team, love and respect, I appreciate you. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, get down in the comments, hit that notification bell, do not forget, and I will catch you on the next one. More love. Peace.